And we begin in 1 minute. We're counting down in 1 minute. And then we begin the Africa program for the LGBTQ plus People of Color Global South Summit. So we are about to begin. And community members, welcome. My name is Antoine Craigwell, and I am here in New York City in the global north, unfortunately. But we would like to welcome you to the Africa program for the LGBT People of Color Global South Summit. This evening, this evening or afternoon, wherever you are in the global South, our program will feature presentations hosted by Bongs Ndima from South Africa, featuring presentations from Transitions in Cape Town, in Western Cape, South Africa, and from Harare in Zimbabwe. And then we will switch and we will go to our next host, Bolu Okupe, who will feature presentations from Instab, Niger, and Creme de la Creme House of Fame Foundation in Nigeria. Our theme for this evening's Africa program is Africa Under a Rainbow Sky. So our program will go something like this. I've just welcomed you. We will have a moment of silence in a moment. We will hear a little bit about the Global South Summit and experience a Nigerian welcome in both Igbo and English. We will acknowledge our partnering organizations, and then our host will take over. I will introduce our host, Bongs Ndima, and then Bongs will then talk about and present and introduce Transitions, as well as Zimbabwe Rainbow Community. And when Zimbabwe Rainbow Community has ended their presentation, we will then switch over to Bolu Okupe, who will join us, and he will then present Instab Niger and Creme de la Creme House of Fame Foundation, and then we come to the end. So community members, there's a lot that is happening in this evening's presentation. So before we begin and get into what we really want to talk about, I would like to ask each of us to take a moment in silence as we welcome and we invite into this virtual forum, and we honor and remember members of our communities who we've lost to homicide, to suicide, to HIV/AIDS, and to the COVID pandemic. Let us welcome into this space as well many of our community members who are struggling and suffering against domestic and intimate partner violence. Let us welcome into this space our community members who are fighting and struggling against acceptance from their family members and other community members. Let us welcome into this space our community members in Camp 13, in Block 13, in Kakuma, in Kenya. Let us welcome into this space our community members in Uganda who were arrested for being who they are. Let us welcome into this space our community members in Botswana and Tanzania and Mozambique. Let's welcome into this space our community members in South Africa, many of whom have recently been killed in acts of violence. Let us welcome into this space our community members in Ghana who are terrified for their lives and struggling to find identity to live as their authentic selves. Let us welcome into this space our community members from Nigeria who are still being persecuted and arrested and harassed and by acts of violence against them by members of their own communities. Let us welcome into this space community members in Senegal, in Burkina Faso, thank you. So let me just tell you a little bit about the Global South Summit. That considering Black and people of color living along the equator and in the Global South are the largest population on the earth, and since LGBTQ are present in all communities, we affirm that LGBTQ plus people of color constitute the largest subdemographic in the world. We are aware that when international media report on or about LGBTQ people of color in the Global South, these often follow a tragic event. Our community's pain is often pathologized and exploited. Rarely, if ever, do we see, hear, experience our community members' richness, beauty, vibrancy, and resilience. We hope to change that image with this program. We want LGBT plus people of color who live along the equator and in the Global South to be seen and heard. We want to highlight and celebrate LGBTQ people of color lives. Yet, even though representatives in the diaspora created a framework for this summit in the Global North, it was imperative that community members reclaim their voice and provide the programming from their respective locales. They tell us who they are. They show us how they live, and they celebrate and how they mourn.
My name is Onyedika Chinwogo, called Kachi. I'm Nigerian and I live in Western Massachusetts, United States of America. I'm using this opportunity to talk about the Global South Summit happening in the month of May and June 2021. This is the first time the people of color from the Global South will come out to express themselves. And the theme for Africa is Africa Under the Rainbow Sky. It's going to be the first of its kind. We've never had it before. Here we'll be expressing ourselves from the African way, from the African perspective, not influenced by anything. It's time to show that Africa has gone beyond crisis. Africa has gone beyond the pandemic. Africa has gone beyond HIV and AIDS. You're going to be seeing Africa in a very new light. Aha m bụ Onyedika Chinwogo, a na-akpọkwanụ m Kachi. M bụ onye Nigeria and m bi na obodo Massachusetts, Worcester, United States of America. M na-eji oge a na-agwa unu maka Global South Summit. Summit ka o summit ndị na-abụrọ ndị ọcha, ndị a na-akpọ people of color. M chọrọ iji oge a na-agwa unu ka unu bịa nọnyere anyị. Nke a bụ the first time a na-eme udu omume a, emedobekwana ya mbụ. Mụ agakwa na-efikwanụ flag nke Nigeria na nke Africa. Anyị ga-egosi onwe anyị na otu ọbụla anyị chọrọ, ma n'egwu ma na ọṅụ ma na nkwa. Anyị ga-eji na Africa gafego mgbe ihe ọrịa marịa, ihe obiri na aja ọcha. Unu bịa nọrọ anyị udo.
Thank you, Kachi. We want to acknowledge and thank our planning team members from South Africa, from Liberia, from Nigeria, from the Dominican Republic, from Thailand, from the US and Guyana, from the Philippines, from Zimbabwe, and of course from India. We also want to acknowledge and thank our partnering and participating organizations: Black Gay Blog, the Clemente In My Mind Conference, DBGM, XAD Productions, the LGBT Center here in New York City, and Claremont Graphic Design. We want to acknowledge and thank the Caribbean Equality Project and ECADE in Eastern Caribbean, Creme de la Creme and Instab Niger in Nigeria, the Bongs Ndima Foundation transition from South Africa, Zimbabwe Rainbow Community in Zimbabwe, Beirut Pride in Lebanon, Baby Lanes in Philippines, Navatman in India, APCOM in Thailand, Chias in Cambodia, Swarkita in Indonesia, and Micro Rainbow International in Laos. So these are just some of the shots from some of our meetings and our rehearsals that we had on Zoom. Here we have, like in the first picture to the left at the top, we've got Kanyisile Phillips representing transition with some of her team members. There are a few other team members here as well. We've got people from Nigeria, we've got people from South Africa, we've got people from Zimbabwe. So welcome again, everyone. So I'd like to introduce our South African host for the South African segment of our program. And our host is Bongs Ndima. Bongs Ndima, originally from KwaZulu-Natal in South Africa, is a video editor, an actor, a mental health activist, a personal trainer, and a digital marketing influencer. As a philanthropist, he is the founder and CEO of BN Foundation, an organization providing mental health support to young boys and adults. He recently competed in the Mr. Gay World 2021 South Africa pageant. With the BN Foundation, Bongs is committed to raising awareness about mental health in the Black community and offering non-judgmental spaces for Black men to open up and get emotional support. Community members, I'd like us to welcome Bongs Ndima. Bongs?
Hi. Hi, everyone. Wow, thank you for that lovely introduction, Antoine. I can't say much now. I can't even introduce myself because you've literally taken over my space.
Thank you. Go on with your bad self.
Okay, hi everyone. My name is Bongs Ndima, which is in full Bonkosi Ndima. I'm originally from KZN. Well, I'm in between Johannesburg and KZN. So I'm from South Africa for those who don't know me. And yeah, I'm the founder and the CEO of the Bongs Ndima Foundation, like Antoine has told you. What we basically do is just to create a space for the LGBTI community and also straight men to actually find help, like mental health support. So this is what we basically deal with. But then before I even introduce and do everything, I want to say, welcome everyone. Welcome under the rainbow sky, which I'm actually excited to be part of. And I just want to say happy Pride Month to each and every one of us. I hope you all feel welcome because this is a safe space. It's been created for you by your people. So we understand you. This is yours. And I hope you're also going to find this to be a welcoming space for you to express yourself fully.
Thank you, Bongs.
Moving on though with our program. So we actually have it's going to be exciting, guys. I don't want to lie. We're going to learn a lot and I'm just excited to be part of all this. But then I just want to introduce Kanyisile Phillips, who's from Antoine.
Yes, can you see Kanyisile's?
Oh yes. I just want to introduce Kanyisile Phillips, who's from the transition, who are doing a phenomenal job in the Western Cape with the transgender people. I don't want to take too much space. I'll let her introduce the work that she does down there and all the people that are actually going to be involved. I'm just excited to hear all about it. I'm sure you guys are going to find this very interesting. Kanyisile, do you mind to take over? Kanyisile?
Hi, good evening, everybody.
Hi.
Welcome. Glad to have you.
I'm so happy to be here. It's
Yeah.
Kanyisile?
It's
Okay.
Hello. We can't hear you, can you, silly?
Hi, can you hear me now?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Good. Yes, we've got you.
I just have to advise that we are experiencing load shedding in South Africa. And so currently my electricity just went on, but it will go off again because like I said, it's scheduled for load shedding. So I'm going to try and be as quickly as possible to explain the work that transition does in Cape Town and in South Africa. So I am Kanisile Phillips. That was correct. That Bongs and Antoine has introduced me, and I'm the director of an organization called Transition. Transition is basically an organization that focuses on a direct service provision to the homeless.
It seems like we may have that Kanyisile may have got
Kanyisile.
disconnected.
Okay.
Okay, so let's move on.
All right, cool. Antoine?
Yeah, let's move on. I'm not sure if
Lawrence.
Yes, oh, she's back. Hello, Kanyisile. She's back.
Apologies. I know that we said that this is something we do not want on this day. My apologies to everyone for the break in my presentation. And so we find that even though in South Africa, we have a very inclusive constitution and a constitution that is democratic, we find that this is in most cases only on paper and not actually being practiced. And so a lot of us are facing many forms of discrimination and stigma as transgender women and men in South Africa. Now, you must understand that when it comes to our constitution, we are allowed legally, or the constitution does allow us to change our gender markers and our names in South Africa legally. But this obviously, we find that this act in itself is problematic. And so, because it requires us to show that we are mentally fit to start transitioning. Yes, it does allow us to change our names and our gender markers in the country, but yet we are having to have two letters, letter from a psychologist to prove that we are mentally fit to start transitioning, and then a letter from a doctor to advise that we have now subsequently started our transitioning process. And then, so with that being said, we also find that when it comes to going to a Home Affairs and Home Affairs office, that a lot of the times we don't get the treatment or the acceptance, you would call it, or the type of, unbiased attitudes that we would want from a Home Affairs official, right? And so in most cases, we tend to find that the service is not being delivered thoroughly. The service is not being delivered without discrimination. And so a lot of us are not able to change our documentation legally in the country based on those measures. But also, even though that there is an act, there is a constitution that covers us, we find that the people who's kind of like the gatekeepers to us having our documents congruent with our gender expression and gender identity, it is still an obstacle. And so this also relates to financial burdens. We find that changing our names and our gender markers in the country to align with our gender identity and our gender expression remains an obstacle. Now, this will lead us into a conversation of unemployment, undereducation. And so we know that even though about approximately 30 to 40% of LGBTQ persons are finding it difficult to find secure jobs because of the fact that we had to leave school at a young age, or had to leave school due to ill treatment, due to abuse, violations. And back in the day, you understand that it was difficult for our people, especially as LGBTQ persons, identifying with LGBTQ community to be in a setting where they can focus on being educated rather than, worrying about your safety. And so this constantly becomes an issue for us in education. So this automatically has a ripple effect on our income stream, where
she seems to have frozen. Okay, Bongs, you want to take it up?
Yeah. I think
until
then
she gets back. Until she gets back.
Yeah. For now, so that we don't actually wait. Let's just move on to Lawrence. Lawrence, are you around?
Oh, there she is again.
She's back.
Yes. Yes. Continue, can you silly? We can't. Yes. Continue, can you silly?
Awesome. So now that I've explained that we find that in education settings, education is not always inclusive. It's moving towards inclusivity, but back in the day, we found that a lot of our sisters and our brothers are homeless based on the fact that they don't have an income because they're not educated in that sense. Most of us are turning to sex work to find some sort of livelihood in order for us to survive, in order for us to live, in order for us to keep ourselves alive.
Okay, it seems that we are having some problems with Kanyisile. It might have to do with the signal strength, also with the fact that she's got some power issues going on there as well. So when Kanyisile comes back on, then we'll just pick up back with her. I'm not sure if Lawrence is on. Lawrence, are you on from Zimbabwe? Okay, Kanyisile, you're back. Go ahead.
Right. So apologies for this. Bongs, you would understand my current situation. I'm trying to remain positive here, but you can see that it is an obstacle that is out of my hands.
You're doing phenomenal right now. Just remain calm and you're doing well. I think, you know what, we all understand and we are with you. So just carry on.
Thank you, Bongs. Thank you, Bongs. And so this is where the work of transition comes in. Transition has taken a stance in the community to focus on a more direct service provision for our communities that is not able to get the help that we need. So a lot of us end up on the streets. And so we engage in sex work. And in that way, that is to make sure that we stay alive and we are able to, to navigate life and through systems of oppression. And so we're working with a group of homeless transgender sex workers. And I don't know if any of them has managed to actually log in today, but I managed to speak to a few of them, and their voices are and their stance is that, listen, the system has failed us. Yes, it is inclusive. Yes, it is there. Yes, we are able to access certain things, but we are not always able to access a lot of services based on who we are, based on our gender identity, our gender expression. And so as much as we have this inclusive constitution, and this is obviously Section 9 of the Constitution of South Africa that allows us not to be discriminated against, we still find this in many spaces. And in a lot of cases, we even find that with the homeless transgender women that we are working with, how our own police officers and our own law enforcement are perpetrators of human rights violations. When we're looking at things like that, we find that there is no one keeping us safe. There is no one that is able to stand up for our rights and say, listen, I'm a law enforcement agent, I am a police official, and I will protect you. We don't find that we are safe in the country. Even now, I've spoken to Antoine a little while ago, where there's a surge in LGBTQ murders and hate crimes in South Africa. And so this usually happens every other few years, where we find that you have a few people being killed in this year. Next year it's quiet. In the year following, there will be another few LGBTQ members being targeted and violated and killed in the country. And so at this stage, we are currently still facing this, where people, murders are happening left, right, and center. Over the last 2 months, we found that about, if not over 11 people, it will be about 10 people that has been murdered in South Africa. And these people are all people identifying as trans and gender diverse persons in the country. And so our struggle is definitely far from over. That I can assure you. However, we do find joy in, being supportive of one another, being able to make money other than, and we support sex work, but we're just saying that there are other ways of making money as well. And so some of the women that I'm working with are engaging in having cabaret shows, and they are at for example, a drag bar, where they are able to perform and earn some money on a weekly basis. Others are performing artists. They are navigating their lives in such a way where they have a source of income that does not necessarily mean that they have to engage in sex work, other than that being the only option. And so for those that are still on the streets and that are navigating and that doesn't have any other skills, due to the fact that they had to leave school at an early age, or had to leave school in a certain grade due to stigma, due to prejudice, and due to discrimination, we find that we are still living our lives to the best that we are able to. And there are dancers. We're trying to get involved in dancing. We are also doing hair and makeup. And so in South Africa, the system is not always inclusive, but we're navigating our lives, and we are making sure that we are surviving, and that we are not just surviving, but we are thriving in a country that is, in a lot of cases, tolerating trans and gender diverse persons. And I don't think that in most cases that we are being accepted in spaces, but we are being tolerated. And so even though, with that being said, there are some good things, but there are also some bad things that is happening in the country when it comes to, like I said, changing your name, altering your name and your gender marker in the country, making sure that you access education, accessing services, health services in the country. Just recently, we found that so many clinics has run out of HRT, hormone replacement therapy, for transgender persons who are underprivileged, transgender persons who are more than just reliant on those clinics to provide free services to us. We find that those people has been sent away and not being able to access that HRT and that hormone replacement therapy. And we understand the consequences that can go with that, or the side effects that can go with not having access to gender affirming healthcare in a country that is supposedly democratic and inclusive.
Thank you. Thank you. That is actually such a really wonderful picture. So let me hand it back over to Bongs. Yes, Bongs, go ahead.
No, I just want to say thank you to Kanyisi that in spite of all the negative stuff that is happening in South Africa, they are pushing the boundaries and moving towards inclusivity, and that is just phenomenal. I'm really inspired. I'm lost for words, actually. So now I think we do not have Lawrence yet with us. Lawrence.
I don't think so. It doesn't seem so. So
okay.
let's.
Okay, Lawrence Puri, for everyone that don't know, he's from Zimbabwe. He's from the Rainbow Community. They actually are also doing the phenomenal foundation work with the HIV/AIDS and homeless people. So, but then we'll come back to him. I would like to actually cross over to Bolu, who's actually based in the whole Nigerian, who's going to introduce the Nigerian people. It's actually Bolu Okupe. Sorry. Let me repeat that. It's Bolu Okupe. He's going to be the host for the Nigerian people. And Bolu, are you there? Bolu?
Yes, I'm there, Bongs, and you did get my name right. Don't worry.
Hey. Okay, okay. All right, cool. Can you please take over and introduce your Nigerian crew?
Sure. Thank you very much, Bongs. Welcome everybody
Thank
to
you.
the West African. Oh, yeah. Welcome everybody to the West African segment of this summit. My name is Bolu Okupe, and I'll be hosting this section, this segment of the summit. And we have a lot of interesting showcases to bring to today. Lots of poems, lots of videos, lots of interesting things that we're gonna share for you guys during this section of the summit. So the first person I want to bring up and introduce, he is going to be Christian Kings. He is the person who has founded InstaTV Niger. It's a platform on Instagram that provides a safe space for all kinds of gay people, queer people, not even just gay men, people of the LGBTQ community. He provides them with a safe space to get educated, to share their stories, give them advice, and I can personally say that what he's doing is very admirable. It takes a lot of guts, bravery, and courage, and I think that what he's doing for his community has such a huge impact, probably more than he can even imagine himself. So yes, Christian King, if you're there, I'm going to hand over to you to sort of talk about your platform and talk about the people you're going to bring up for us on the summit.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Yeah, I'm Christian Kings, the founder and the creator of InstaTV Niger. I'm from River State, Nigeria, and I reside presently in Ekiti State. I prefer to be addressed with a he and him. I created InstaTV Niger for the purpose of the safe space for as many LGBTQ members in Nigeria as much as we can gather in one place and relate and maybe celebrate ourselves. So I created a page for as many that can reach out to each other because of the discrimination out there. So I created this space so that we can reach out to each other, tell our story and our experiences to each other, and as well talk about relationship issues, health issues, and security issues as well, and things that can help build a safe community for us. Also a monitoring and evaluation officer for an NGO here in Ekiti, where we speak and treat people on HIV, AIDS, syphilis, and all other sexually transmitted diseases. So because I am handling InstaTV Niger, so I am opportune to handle many relationship issues, which I've been doing well according to the accolades my followers have been telling me, and relationship issues, and majorly everything about LGBTQ. I'm ready to stand out to speak and fight for the rights of the people. We have been marginalized a lot. We've been set apart for a very long time, and it's actually time to speak out, for our voice to be heard. Not just in Nigeria, let the world know that we are existing as queer personality LGBTQ members in Africa. We are beautiful, we are creative, we are powerful, we are awesome, we are all that we can't even imagine. So that's what InstaTV Niger is all about, and that's what Christian Kings is all about. Thank you all. So I'll be introducing some of my team members that will be doing their presentation today. So I've been opportune to meet this kind of creative fellow. He's a baker.
Good evening, everyone.
Okay. So it's a baker. Introducing Gigi Raymond, giving a presentation how we. Okay. I'm still okay. Gigi Raymond will be okay.
Hang on, Christian. I'll bring on Samuel first before Gigi.
Okay. Samuel has a presentation on the first LGBTQ.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Samuel, and I identify as genderqueer. My preferred pronouns are they, them, and theirs. I want to say a very big thank you to the organizers of this event, of this summit, for the opportune moment to showcase what I'm about to present. So I will be presenting the LGBTQ plus anthem composed by me. And the anthem speaks to the prejudice, the stigma, discrimination, and struggles we community members face here in Nigeria. And it is a very long journey, and we expect and we hope that going forward, that structures will be put in place to mitigate the further occurrence of gender-based violence, of the stigma, of this discrimination we face as queer persons here in Nigeria. And I was able to, I got a song, I was able to write and work on some few pieces from a friend and got a backup to do the song and make it a success. So thank you very much, listen, and thank you. I believe I can see I'm breaking free. Restore my will, and I will live my inner truth, and I will love beyond my fears. And I will stand on the hill, scream it, freedom is all I need. Freedom is all I need. Freedom is all I need. And I will shine for my light, shine for the world to see. Freedom is all I need. Freedom is all I need. And I've been hurt by my own lust, but without this trust, our bond is lost, and hope alive. For I conquer, rage and strife will burn the bridge. And I will stand on the hill, scream it, freedom is all I need. Freedom is all I need. Freedom is all I need. And I will shine for my light, shine for the world to see. Freedom is all I need. Freedom is all I need. And I will shine for my light, shine for the world to see. Freedom is all I need. Freedom is all I need. Freedom is all we need.
Wow, that was a lovely presentation. Oh, that's a lovely presentation, and the video, the beautiful people that joined to make sure this presentation happened. I really want to clap and applaud as many. I can see in the background, you see the videos of many trans people that have been molested, and you can see the video there being beaten up and all that. These are things that happen in Nigeria here. I want to thank Samuel, for helping us to see all that is going on here in Nigeria. Thank you very much for the awesome attempt from Samuel. So we'll move on to the next presentation right now from Raymond Gigi, presenting a cake, and also an African
Good evening.
attire.
Good evening, everyone.
Hi guys, my name is Raymond Gigi from Nigeria, and happy Pride Month to you all. Welcome to the Global South-South Summit. My pronouns are they, them, and the theme for Africa is Africa under the rainbow sky. I'm going to be making or taking a class, a cake demo class for like a homemade, simple homemade vanilla essence cake. Beautifully crafted, and it represents the rich culture of the Ijaw people of Nigeria. We have the coral beads. This is actually sugar crafted, and we have an edible printed wrapper. In Nigeria it is called popo, while in a neighboring country Ghana it's called kente. The Ijaw people of Nigeria actually uses this wrapper a lot of times, varying from different occasions to funerals, weddings, naming ceremonies, woman rights celebration, and the rest of it. I'm actually dressed beautifully in an Ijaw attire. This wrapper is called Njeri or George, while it is well adorned with a shirt called Itibo. We have beautifully adorned studs made with coral and cufflinks made with coral beads, as a rich Nigerian Ijaw man would dress. And you can actually wear it with sandals or with any kind of shoe. So I hope you enjoy this presentation, and I want to wish you all a happy Pride Month.
Thank you very much, Gigi. Thank you very much, Gigi, for the presentation. We love the attire. Thank you for showing us Itibo and Injury. I'm sure many of us we want to dress like the riverine side of Nigeria. So that's an example. You can always contact Gigi for on how to get an Itibo done and an Injury. I wish we can test the cake, but we are on a virtual summit. So keep our cake for us, Gigi. So on our next presentation today, it's a poem.
I am a butterfly.
It's a poem written by me, Christian Kings. So listen and enjoy.
I am a butterfly, trapped since my lava stage, looking for the perfect condition to break free. Even after my transformation, have been confined, my wings unable to take me to the sun and the flowers. The environment is too cruel to show my beautiful colors of the rainbow. I am aware of who I am, yet can't express myself. I've been locked up for too long. I'm losing sense of who I am. I'm breaking free, breaking free. I am breaking free. How long will you continue to live under the rules of others? Break free, live your truth. Christian Kings. I am a butterfly.
That was
Hey everyone,
that was a presentation. Okay, that was that was a lovely one presented by me. So it's a poem that shows how many Nigerians are in the closet and looking for every opportunity to come out, as many travels out to live their true lives, while where they're in the country, they can't express themselves as much, but we are changing that narrative now. So as many that are here, please, let's learn to live our true self and enjoy our life. Thank you very much. So the next presentation is from Ogunyale Toyosi, Our World Within and Outside the Rainbow.
From Southwest Nigeria, and my topic is Our World Within and Outside the Colors. The things we do, how does it reflect who we are? How does it portray us to the other community that are not so acceptance of us, especially in Africa? And how do they perceive us when they see us? How do we even perceive ourselves? That is my topic. So the introduction is basically the LGBT community is large yet small. We are enclosed in every family, schools, organizations, but we live very small because we are not in a place where we can express ourselves. We contain of individuals with talent, resilience, poise, but the major bone of contention is how we relate within this community over the years. The following occurrences has been noticed. And the number one thing is we do not come together to stand against setup, otherwise known as keto, when some bunch of homophobic people just come up to kill, lynch, beat people that are perceived to be of other sexual orientation. Internal homophobia, we judge based on effeminacy within the community. Outing fellow community members to dangerous and homophobic, we try to prove class. And my suggestions on how we could tackle these problems are creating self-awareness within the community, like letting us know who we are, right, the things that we can access and the things that we have right to, making everyone within the community understand that it's fine not to be ready to come out yet. You don't have to out me. Let me be ready to come out when I am ready. Let me come out when I am comfortable and convenient. Coming together to stand against setup and gain lynching. When we see that it happens, let's come together. Let's lend our voices. Let's go to the venue and try to fight these people off. Irrespective of our individual differences, we need each other to survive the hate, threats, and other vices. No one is free until everyone is. And we need to also empower each other. Thank you.
Thank you very much. A wonderful piece from Ogunyale Toyosi. And no one is safe until everyone is safe. So we should learn to keep our fellow community members safe and say no to internal homophobia and always speak for the rights of your fellow community member. When you see somebody is in danger because of you're at risk of exposure, you decide not to fight for the person. Instead, fight for the person so that the person can get freedom. Because the more we get freedom in security issues like this, everyone will stand up for their rights. But if you keep staying indoors and keep hiding, we'll still keep getting into security issues like keto that happens regularly here in Nigeria. Thank you very much. So we go next to this next presentation by Nim Duvi, talking about masculinity. Nim Duvi.
No, we go to Favor.
Hi there, everyone. I'm Favor.
Good day, everyone. Toyosi.
Hi there, everyone. I'm Favor Akpan. I am Nigerian. I stay here in Nigeria, and I work as a finance officer for a trans-led organization, Hope for Change Initiative, here in Akwa State. Yeah. So I'm genderqueer. Yeah, I identify as genderqueer, and my preferred pronouns are they, them, and theirs. So for the purpose of this summit, I'm a fashion designer as well. Yeah. For the purpose of this summit, I put together some fashionable pieces that represents the LGBTQIA community of color. Yeah, and I had members, representatives of this community come together, put on the dress and model it more like a model video editorial. Yeah, so I did that. I did the photography, I did the videography, I did the editing, styling, and the tailoring of the pieces they're going to be seen on this video. So about my inspiration, yeah, from the theme Under the Rainbow Sky. So I thought about it, okay, under the rainbow sky, what can I make? And I was like, okay, fine, let me go search for a rainbow fabric here, and just put on simple pieces that community representatives can put on in a confined place, like in just in this space, go and have fun, do things that make them happy, vogue, dance, you know, make love, make love, like play with their partner and all of that. Yeah, so I did that, and I made videos of all of that, like regular everyday looks, and I collaged all of it together and brought out my work of art. Then at the end of the video, you're going to be seeing the photo gallery of all the pictures I took and edited by myself. Thank you so much, and enjoy the rest of the summit. Bye.
Midnight in Brooklyn, you leaned in first. I wasn't looking, but there you were. My fallen angel, calling my name, my fallen angel, calling my name, lost in a dark room, walking on air. Don't have to see you to know you're there. Not for the way you dancing on me, not for the way you thousand eyes, watching in silence as we get higher. It's not complicated. Dancing on me, dancing on me. It's elevated. Dancing on me, dancing on me. Too many nights I was trapped in my mind trying to break free. Now I surrender. All up on you, all up on you. Take me to heaven. All up on you, all up on you. Come on. Where have you been all my life? Boy, don't stop taking me higher than I've ever been. Higher than the heavens is. No lie, your hands keep my hands high. Boy, don't stop taking me higher than I've ever been. Higher than the heavens is. Come on, just give it to me. Come on, just give it to me. Come on, just give it to me. Give me the stars. Your love it takes me higher. Come on, just give it to me. Come on, just give it to me. Come on, just give it to me. Give me the stars. Your love it takes me higher. Oh my God, these feelings just begun. I'm saying things I've never said, doing things I've never done. Oh my God, when I see you, I should it right. But I'm frozen in motion, and my head tells me to stop, feelings I feel about us. Try to fight it, but it's never enough. My heart is hurting, it's more than a crush. Cause I'm frozen in motion, and my head tells me to stop. But my heart goes cause my heart oh my God, can't believe what I've become. I'm thinking things I shouldn't think, singing songs I've never sung. Oh my God, when I see you I should run. But I'm frozen in motion, and my head tells me to stop, feelings I feel about us. Try to fight it, but it's never enough. My heart is hurting, it's more than a crush. Cause I'm frozen in motion, and my head tells
It's Pride Month, baby.
Yes, beautiful.
Oh my God, I like.
Wow. That's a lovely one. Go Easter TV Niger. Favor. That was awesome. I'm getting my
Thank
color.
you.
I'm
I know,
getting
right?
my coat of colors this week. So I'm placing my
Sure.
order right now.
No
Happy
problem.
Pride
That's
Month.
fine.
Everybody get your
Same to
colors.
you.
We have a fashion designer in the house right now. So everyone right here, wherever you are, we will deliver your clothes to you. So you will make lovely Nigerian clothes as well as colorful clothes for you. Favor Akman, accolades, please. Everybody clap, 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 clap. Oh my God, that was awesome. I got the chills there. Wow,
Thank you.
the show has begun. The show has begun. The show has
Yeah.
begun. Thank you very much for that. So I leave it to Anton to go to the next slide. Thank you.
I'll be talking on the norms of the society, gender and masculinity, and how it has influenced the LGBTQ community. Gender basically is a category into which sexually reproducing organisms are divided on the basis of the reproductive roles in their species. So basically, gender is male or female, boy or girl. Masculinity is anything pertaining the male gender. the qualities typically associated with masculinity are confident, tough, provider, virile, aggressive. So any norm which does not play by the rulebook of the society causes eyebrows to raise in criticism, judgment, in bashing, rejection, or scorn, or bullying. Now this negativity causes a lot of people to go into sadness and depression. A lot of people struggle with self-denial, self-hate, and they go into self-harming. And they withdraw from the society because of all these things. They live in fear. They're afraid of being unique, of being who they really are. And they are struggling with rejection, struggling with societal bullying. One way we can handle this is if we can dare to be different. We have to be courageous. We have to be fierce. You have to be different. You have to find a way to stand out. Don't just follow the norm. Be cool. Be unique. Be better. Be different. Be magical. But most importantly, be yourself. Thank you.
Powered by Insta to be Niger, a home for all the marginalized.
Oh, that's a lovely one from Name Duvi. Name Duvi is talking about masculinity and encouraging us to be ourselves. So, and should not discriminate about who is the manly one, who is not the manly one, and always push role to others. You're too feminine, you're too this, you're too that. So we should learn to be ourselves and learn to accept one another for who we are. So I still leave it to Antoine to go to the next person presenting.
So right now, I think we've got Lawrence who was able to join us. So Bongs.
Hi. Hello.
Yes, Bongs, you're on.
Oh, hey, yes. Welcome, guys. We're gonna continue with our South African delegates. We have Lawrence Phiri next. He's originally from Zimbabwe. They're coming from the Rainbow Community. Lawrence, are you with us?
Yes, I'm with you. Greetings, everyone. Thank you for joining us live.
Whoo, child, welcome.
Hey.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
I'm sorry,
hello, and welcome.
We've been trying to do our recordings, but due to power cuts, we couldn't send our recordings, but we've just decided to join live. So unfortunately, all our presentations are going to be doing them live. And I hope we won't have any power disruptions, but we'll try as much as we can so that we can present all our presentations. Thank you all for giving us time and opportunity to present and to introduce the trustee to everyone in the world. So, Bongs, I'm ready.
Go ahead.
So, as you all know, my name is Lawrence Phiri. I'm the director and founder of Zimbabwe Rainbow Community. Zimbabwe Rainbow Community, as the world knows, it's called Zimbabwe ZRC in short. It's a male sex-worker-led organization. So, unfortunately, ZRC, we started ZRC as a support group for male sex workers living with HIV, but we saw that the large number of people coming into our support group kept coming in hundreds and hundreds. That's when we decided to form it as an organization. We tried to register the organization from 2014 up until 2018 November because of the country laws. So in 2018 November, on the 15th of November, that's when it is an organization. So unfortunately, Zimbabwe Rainbow Community, we have seen that there's a lot of number of issues that are facing male sex workers in Zimbabwe. We do identify as male sex workers, but at the end of the day, we're gay, but we've chosen a different profession being sex workers in the world. So we've faced a lot of issues in terms of being discriminated by the LGBT community, saying that we are the ones that are spreading HIV. So we wanted to address those number of issues. So we have got 5 thematic areas, which are men's empowerment, men's mental health, men's empowerment, men's advocacy, men's community strengthening. So we're trying to address those in the next 5 years. So in Zimbabwe, we're trying as much as we can.
Lawrence, it seems that you,
Sorry, I lost some network, but I'm back now. So we're trying to address those issues as a community. So currently we are in the process of training our peer educators so that we can address the issues of COVID as they were only equipped with the information around HIV, STIs, and other communicable diseases, but they didn't have information around HIV. Sorry, COVID. I'm sorry, I might be rushing. If I'm rushing, please let me know so I can slow down. I tend to be nervous if I'm around crowds, especially powerful men like you, all of you.
No, you're doing fine. You're doing fine.
So
Lawrence.
at the moment, we are trying to address issues of COVID because we have seen a large numbers of issues coming out around the first lockdown that affects us in Zimbabwe, because we thought being quarantined and the issues of being in lockdown, it was something that affected our Western countries and not only in Africa. So as a community and as an organization, this was starting. So we partnered with an organization called Kushinga Zimbabwe AIDS Trust. It works with MSMs and transgender women. So together we're trying to address the issues that affect our communities as much as we work with male sex workers. And we have also celebrated transgender intersexualized, what's it called? International Day against Trans and Homophobic Day, but we did it under the theme celebrating sex workers who are still in Africa and who have left Africa. It was a shock for us to be selected to be a part of this great initiative as a community. And today we are going to present issues that we have faced as a community during our first lockdown, during lockdown, and after lockdown. So I'm not alone today. I'm with my partners from Zimbabwe Rainbow Community and from Kushinga Zimbabwe AIDS Trust, so that we can together talk about the issues that we're facing as a community. Unfortunately, the subtitles are not actually saying what we have, but we are willing to share a report of what we have done, what we are doing, and what we continue to be doing in the community so that we can address the issues around COVID, HIV, and AIDS, addressing the issues of stigma and discrimination in our community. So this time, I'm going to leave it to our communications manager, Patrick Mashaba, to address the issues around COVID-19, our first lockdown, what male sex workers have faced, what we have enjoyed around the first lockdown, and what our lives have become around the lockdown. So I'm going to leave this moment to Patrick Mashaba.
Hi, everyone.
Yes.
Hello, everyone. Hello. Hello, everyone.
Hi, guys. Lawrence, just tell him to continue. We can hear him.
My name is Patrick Mashaba. I'm the Communication and Advocacy Manager for Zimbabwe Rainbow Community, Harare, Zimbabwe. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, going to the effect on COVID-19 to the male sex workers community. COVID-19 has caused a lot of infects to our community. Hi.
Yes, go on, continue.
Actually, as an organization, we have faced a lot of things when it comes to the impact of COVID-19 to the male sex workers community in Zimbabwe. The first thing that we have been through is like we have a lot of reports when it comes to defaults to the community members who are living with HIV/AIDS, and lack of nutritious support to give into the lockdown sessions, and also lots of clients and lots of stigma and discrimination.
Yes, go on, continue. We can hear you.
Yeah, as an organization,
Lawrence, what's happening?
Lawrence?
I wonder they may have lost signal.
Okay.
No, Lawrence is back. So would you continue?
Apologize. Actually, the COVID-19 has impacted, is bringing a lot of impact to the male sex workers.
Lawrence, what's going on?
Lawrence?
Seems like they may be having some issues, so maybe if we could skip.
Okay, so let's okay, so let's Bongs, let's move back to Christian, move back and introduce Christian.
Okay.
Move back and introduce Bolu, and let Bolu introduce Christian, and let Christian take it over from there.
So, okay, no, thank you, Lawrence. Thank you, Lawrence, for the amazing job that you guys are doing there and shining the light on the less spoken issues, which we all know that is happening across the globe. Big ups to you guys. We're just going to cross over to Bolu to continue with the Nigerian delegates. Bolu?
Yeah, thank you very much. Well done to you guys over at South Africa for doing what you're doing. It's really motivating and inspiring. So actually, no, I'm not going to be introducing Christian. I think Christian was done with the Insta TV Niger section. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think he is. And just before I move on from him, I just want to say again, like Christian.
No, we are not done yet.
Oh, no. Okay, apologies. Sorry. Let me give it back to Christian. My bad. So I'm gonna hand it back to you, Christian.
Okay, so we are done with all the pre-recorded section of my teammate Insta TV Niger. So we'll be going on to the live people that rehearsed to perform live today. So I would love to welcome an HR person who will be talking about how queer people can get jobs, more jobs, and in Nigeria, and how he tell us how he has been helping Nigerian queer people to get more jobs. So I would like to hand over to Richard Sampson. If he's on the line, he's live. Richard, I see you. You're there. So I will want to hand over to you. If Richard. Samson. So since it's not available for now, okay. When he comes online, I will definitely notify the team so the team can as well go ahead with we have 2 presentations left. So when they come online, I will inform you guys to continue with us. We have just 2 presentations left. So I also want to hand over to Bongs back to continue. Thank you.
Hi.
I see that Lawrence is back, Bongs.
Yeah, just saw it now as well. So yeah, we'll hand over to Lawrence Piri from the Rainbow Community to continue with his presentation. Lawrence.
Hi everyone, how's it?
Thank you. Welcome back.
I apologize for network problem. Actually,
no
going back to the impact of COVID-19 to the male sex workers in Zimbabwe, to the male sex workers community. There is a lot of STI increases due to restrictions movement. We have a lot of reports on defaults in the adherence. There is also violence from law enforcement against the male sex workers community, given the fact that the government introduces lockdown. So poor business, list of clients, and we also have reports on drug abuse. We also have antisocial activities going on And a lot of our members has reported as in going through depression and stress and anxiety. There is a lot of stigma and discrimination, given the fact that even the clinics here, they closed down during COVID-19 regulations. There is a lot of loss of jobs, and the community has been going through a lot. That is all I have on the impact of COVID-19 to the male sex workers in Zimbabwe.
Yes, go on, continue, Lawrence.
Yes, so when you're addressing these issues as a community, we have seen that there are other number of interventions that we have to do as a community, because as much as we've seen the impacts, we have to come out with interventions that how best we can help our communities. So during the first lockdown, we had to look for funds so that we can help our communities, because we've seen that in our first lockdown, I remember the first day that we went to our offices after the first lockdown, with first 21 days of lockdown. We had to go to the offices so that we can get condoms and lubrications so that we can help our communities. So the first day we went to the office, we were arrested by the office agent saying, "Why are you here? What are you doing?" Then we explained to them that we are frontline workers. We want to give service to our communities. So that's when we said, if this can happen to us, who are in the office, who are important people, what about the people that are outside? That's when we decided to say, can we apply for a grant from Frontline AIDS? We got a rapid response fund from Elton John. That's when we decided to do an initial support. We dubbed it, what is it called? A Fit to Empower program, whereby we're buying groceries, we're paying rentals for sex workers who couldn't afford certain necessities from their homes or anything. So we did that for 3 to 6 months. So it helped us a lot. But we're still facing challenges right now, even when because a new lockdown was introduced yesterday. Most workers since then, the first lockdown, are not getting services they need, adequate services that they need. So in Zimbabwe, other populations are getting services, but as no sex workers are still being left behind, because people do assess the new population. As much as we try to explain to them that we are not a new population, we are gay men, we are LGBTI people, but sex work is just an occupation. We are still viewed at the end of the day as sex workers and are being left out. So we're trying as much as we can to address these issues to our communities, but at the end of the day, we are being left out. So as the TRC, you are trying as much as we can. As the only existing male sexual organization in Zimbabwe, we are trying as much as possible as we can. Yesterday, we had cases of male sex workers who came to our offices. We have been abused and raped, who was living in the six who are using drugs. We had to seek services from different service providers, as we don't have a clinic at our offices. It took us about 6 hours to get someone who would respond to us. And at the end of the lastly, gays and lesbians of Zimbabwe came to our rescue, say, we have a car, we are going to come and help you guys so that we can take the people that are being affected in your community to the clinic. And that was a win for us, because at the end of the day, it's not about us winning, but it's about us giving service to our communities. COVID has affected us and it has taken us by surprise. We have issues of mental health. We have seen a lot of male sex workers being depressed. We have seen a lot of male sex workers being chased away from the communities they're living in, being rejected by their families. We have a large number of violence that is being perpetrated towards male sex workers. And for a male sex worker to go to the clinic or to the clinic to talk about their issues, it's tough in Zimbabwe. As much as it is now easy in some facilities, but for men to seek clinical services, it's been hard. And for rape cases, intimate partner violence cases, to go to the police station to report those cases, it's been hard, because the moment you go there to talk about those issues, they forget your human rights, and then they start violating them there and then. And then you'll be arrested. They forget that fact that you came as a victim and you'll be arrested yourself. So we are not yet where we want to be as a community. We are still struggling so that we can address those issues. But we thank those partners, the partners that we have. We have Sesha Zimbabwe, we have Panjaz Zimbabwe AIDS Trust, we have GAUs that we're working with. those are the communities that we're working with. And we are glad that we have partnered with organizations like Kushinga Zimbabwe's Trust that work with MSM and transgender women so that we can address these issues. Because we have seen that alone as a community, we can never do that. But if we didn't have an organization like Sesha Zimbabwe, I don't know where we would be as a community, because they've been doing sexual programming for a very long time. And we have been trying so hard.
Lawrence? Okay, it seems like there's a technical breakdown with Lawrence. Lawrence?
Yeah, it seems that he's gone. So
Yeah,
hand over back.
Okay.
To hand over
Bolu?
to Christian. Hand over to Bolu.
To Chris.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
Firstly, I just want to say thank you for the phenomenal job that they are doing there at the Rainbow Community. Lawrence, you guys, big ups to you. I mean, in spite of all the pressure that is happening, it's really inspiring to see that you are pushing the boundaries in making sure that the LGBTI community is heard and also invisible. So we will just cross over to Christian to continue with the Nigerian delegates. Christian? Bolu?
Yes, I'm here. I think Christian has 2 more presentations to give. I'm not sure if, I think Christian is not responding, so he may have dropped. If he's unable to come, I'm going to just continue because we actually do have some other Nigerians that we have to introduce.
So here's Christian. Here's
okay,
Christian.
Christian is back. Perfect.
Yeah.
So my participants are not yet ready to present now because they are trying to look for a suitable condition to attend to be able to present without any break in transmission and all that. So I will want to take permission for them so we can continue with the other Nigerian teams who are ready for presentation. Thank you.
Okay, so let's go on, Bolu. Go on, Bolu.
Just want to say thank you very much, Christian, and the wonderful stuff that you guys over there at the Insta-TV Niger family are doing. It's really great to see, and it's very inspiring. So the last section we have for today is going to be the Creme de la Creme House of Fame Foundation that is led by pioneering trans activists in Nigeria. So I'm going to first bring up Franklin to introduce the foundation, and he's going to introduce each participant that is going to be showcasing a presentation for us today. I believe Franklin is here.
Yes, just a moment, Bolu. Before we go to Franklin, I think I wanted to introduce Kachi and have Kachi. Yes, okay. And then Kachi, and then after Kachi, then we'll come back to Franklin. Okay.
Okay.
Kachi.
Okay. So bring Kachi up.
Kachi, are you there? Okay, so let's go to Franklin. Franklin? Kachi?
Yeah.
Hang on, Franklin. Go on.
I thought it was gonna be after Franklin.
No, just keep going.
I got it mixed up. So, everyone, welcome to the Global South Summit. When we started, it was just like a dream, but thank God we're here today, and I still can't believe it's real and it's happening. And everybody, kudos to Bolu, Bongs, and all the presenters. It's been so amazing. Kristen, Franklin, and all the guys. And Antoine, our father, thank you so much. So this is just, I know when it comes to issues about LGBTQI, there are many perceptions, there are many issues that people think. When you just say, oh, I'm gay, a lot of people begin to think a lot of things. And because we want to avoid all of that, some of us just keep hiding. Some of us just keep going back to, where we don't really want to be. So this presentation is just tagged Discovering My Identity, and it's going to be talking about my story. There are a lot of things you've not heard about me. Some of you will be like, who is he? How did he become how did he start, doing men? Because let me use the word that someone said, how did you start doing men? So I grew up discovering I liked men. I was 7 years old when I had my first crush on my neighbor. And it was so funny because I would climb a tree just to look at him. And so I had to get enrolled into an all-boys school. If anybody who grew up in Port Harcourt know Baptist High School, Bolu Okupe is an all-boys school. And then it became much serious. But before then, I had gone to live with my grandmother when I was 9 in 1995. And so I discovered that I and my cousin had similarities in everything. And we used to do the hump game and humping on bed, on the stream. And then when we go to the bush to go do some farm work with my grandmother, we will sneak out and we'll do whatever we do and we come back. And there was a day my grandmother almost caught us doing it. And then she'd be like, why are you always locking yourself in the room? Why are you guys always doing this and that? And I said, no, I was just sleeping. And, that story. Until I went to Baptist High School, Bolu Okupe, and that was when I actually came to reality because I had this classmate called Victor. We closed from school together. We walk home together, and there's a road called Agri Road. Christian, I know you know where I'm talking about. So on Agri Road, and while we walk back home, we do some things on the road that if it is in today's Nigeria, they probably burn us alive. In between those cars, because those cars are really long, it's like a 1 mile walk, how they line up all the cars. And so we walk in between those cars and do all our stuff. And we kept on doing that till I left. I had to leave that particular school to go to another school somewhere in G-Line. And that was it. So my real fight and struggles to discover myself started happening in my 20s. Because when I was in Uniport, I had a boyfriend. So it was all going good for me. I just knew on the side that in my subconsciousness, I just know that, what I'm doing is I'm committing a sin. So anytime I go to church, I say the forgiveness prayer and I feel comfortable. So not up until 2013, I really had a huge struggle. So I had graduated college and I was trying to get a job. So I enrolled into my church Bible school because I was just trying to do something, to equip myself. So in those teachings, they said one of the reasons why our prayers don't get answered is because of our sins. Because our sins are like a huge Chinese word that blocks us between we humans and God. So then I began to say, probably because I'm gay, that's why I've not been able to get a job after 3 months. So I made a vow. It's just the first time you're going to hear this. I made a vow and I told God that if you give me a job, I am going to stop being gay. I will never fuck a man again. To make it look how serious it was, I swore with my life that if I ever go back to a man, just kill me. And between November 2013 until April 2014, I did everything in my power as a human to stay off men and boys. I deleted my social media accounts. And around February, March 2014, the Same-Sex Marriage Prohibition Act was passed in Nigeria. And I knew I was going to work that morning. So I saw the headlines. President Goodluck Jonathan signs the Same-Sex Marriage Prohibition Act with 14 years imprisonment for any man cutting, having sex with man or something. So I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, oh, well, that's their problem. It's not even my problem. So I felt like it wasn't my thing. So I walked away and I had that confidence in me that, yes, I wasn't going to do it again. But in my inner mind, I was struggling, I was dying. And every day I'd be like, when is this torture going to end? So the torture eventually ended on the 14th of April, 2014. And that day, I had to use my moisturizer on my right hand, and the rest is history. And then on the 22nd of April that year, I had the first encounter again after like 6 months with a guy. And when I finished, I was crying. I was too scared to take a bus. I was walking on the road and I was looking because I felt like a vehicle was going to hit me because I was going to die. And then I kept on praying and asking God for forgiveness that I wasn't going to do it again. But that was just the beginning of everything. And that was like the true beginning of all my struggles. So between 2014 and 2016, I was in this struggle filled with internalized homophobia. I hated myself. I hated being gay. I hated why I was created. And every day I go to church, I write it on the prayer point. I say, God, just change me. Just make me straight like every other person. Just make me not to like men again. In all of these struggles, the point when I finish, I feel very confident that yes, this is the end of my story. Like it's going to end now. And by the time because I used to attend Winners Chapel in Lagos, and it's about 50,000 capacity church. By the time I walk out of the door, because then I used to go to a place called the Faith Entrance because I was having faith that it was going to end. By the time I turn, I just see one cute boy and I just get lost in like seconds. I'm like, oh my God, please forgive me again. This was my struggles till 2016. In 2016, it has gotten to a stage of more like having like a depression because I think about it, I'm so scared, I couldn't communicate, I couldn't even relate with people comfortably. And so one of those days I was sitting down and I was asking questions. And one thing that flashed into my head was, it said, before I created you, I knew you. And I was reading, it was from the Bible, and it said, I knew you. So before you were created, I knew you. So I knew what you were going to be even before you were born. So I'm like, why is this word coming to me? And that was when I began to like, ponder around it. I'm like, okay. So that means God knew I was going to be gay. And the Bible says God hates abomination. And if truly homosexuality is an abomination, why did God allow my creation? And so I was thinking about it. And then there was this kind of quietness in me. Like for the first time, it says, be who you are, be free, and then don't allow yourself to, face self-hate. And that was when I started, trying to make discoveries and readings and research. I began to get more comfortable. And that was like the first time in my whole life I really discovered that, yes, I can be gay. God loves me for who I am. And no matter where I have been, what will I say? Homophobia is a Western civilization, because in one of those research, I came into an article written by a famous Nigerian novelist called Chimamanda Adichie, and she said, she said before homophobia existed, homosexuality existed. And so in one of her readings, she said it was the British that said no, because the British Queen as at then was looking at it from her own moral standpoint of view, not from a different point of view, but in her own eyes, it was immoral for two men to be together or two women to be together. And then reading through the cultural norms of Africa, I discovered that in some cultures, homosexuality was even a sign of rite of passage. And in my culture, the Igbo culture, being gender fluid or being gender non-conforming was a thing celebrated, because I had to see research and see some people, even the famous artist in my culture who used to sing for kings. He was a cross-dresser and he was well celebrated. Everything started much more in the late 90s and early 2000s when homophobia became like a rampant issue. And in all of this, and then I'd be like, okay, from today, that was the 1st of June, 2017, I stopped to hate myself. No more forgiveness prayers. I am who I am. God has created me the way he created me. And he knew my beginning from the end. So this is me and this is my story.
Thank you very much, Kachi, for sharing that.
Wow, that's adorable.
And I'm sure that there are many of us who could identify with what you're talking about. So thank you very much for sharing that. Before we move on to the next section of our program, I noticed that Nazima if Nazima is still here. Nazima, are you still here? Nazi, we can't hear you. Nazi, we can't hear you.
Yes, I'm still here.
Okay, could you, you wanted to share your story? So,
Yes.
so if you can go ahead, you can give you about 5 minutes. It's now 2:30. So
Okay.
can you share your story in about 5 minutes or as best as you can?
Okay. Let me go to, okay.
You were doing well. Why are you signing in again?
Oh, okay, sorry. Do you see?
Yes, I can see your screen, but why are you sharing your screen and signing in again?
Okay, let me
So
cancel.
just exit out of that.
Okay, let me cancel it.
Okay, just close that. No, just close that. Okay, just click the X at the top. Click the X at the top. Click the X at the top. Yep, at the top, at the very top. Go up, go up.
Yeah.
The X to your right, to your right, to your far right. Okay, Nazi,
yeah.
Do you want to go ahead and start speaking and start sharing your story?
Okay, because
just leave that. We can see you. We can see you. Just leave that. Just go ahead.
Okay, just because I will just put in the picture so I can read about what they're writing from the.
Okay, just go ahead because we don't have much time. We are already, you know. Would you like to go ahead?
Okay. Just give me a minute.
Okay, Nazi, we'll have to come back to you. We'll have to come back to you. Okay.
Okay, cool. It's fine.
Bolu, can you resume and introduce Franklin again, please?
Yes, with pleasure. Unfortunately, I think Nazim is having issues, so we're gonna have to come back to her. So Franklin, if you're there, Franklin from the Creme de la Creme House of Fame Foundation is going to be introducing his fellow members, and they're going to be speaking to us about their foundation and also giving us some presentations and some performances. So Franklin, if you're there, I'm going to give it to you. Take over.
All right. Good evening, all. Hello. Good evening. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
All right. I'm going to be in audio because my light was just interrupted just a few minutes ago. I want to actually speak a little bit about Creme de la Creme and what we do before this much presentation. My name is Franklin. I'm the executive director of Creme de la Creme, and Creme is a trans organization in Nigeria, and our thematic areas is HIV and AIDS counseling services. We are into vocational training for the trans community members in Nigeria. We are also into mental health thematic area, gender-based violence, human rights, and I think we are the only trans organization in Nigeria providing a safe shelter for the trans community in Nigeria, of which we have one, and in a safe shelter in Abuja and in Lagos State, and that has been a place we've been accommodating most of our trans and queer persons that have been homeless or in one way or the other had issue of accommodation. And the space are so large, and we are also asking other LGBT community in an organization in one time in their life or any time they have an opportunity of meeting anyone who is actually homeless, you can actually direct the person to our organization. We will be obliged to bring in the person because nothing for us without us in Nigeria.
Thank you. So, okay, so the next.
So I'll be introducing the.
Can you see the screen?
Yeah,
can you see the screen?
I can see it very well. Yeah, I can see it very well. I am introducing Queen Acapel. She's our project director, and I think she's not on this call at the moment, but she has a pre-recorded video about that speaks about unite the Nigeria, unite the LGBT community.
The time for war is over everywhere. Can we just come together and talk peace? Let us unite as one. Sit with me, make we talk. Tori don't change, we get waka dey go. Come, let us unite as one. Oh yeah, sit with me, make we talk. Tori don't change, we get waka dey go. I don't tire for war. I don't tire to divide. I don't tire to see blood on the street of my mama's land. Oh.
I'm Queen Gaga. Hi, and this is Jackie Miss Jenny. Hello, this is Cassie, Miss Pride.
As always, my name has always been Acapel, and together we are the new Creme de la Creme girls.
Oh, I'm pretty sure you all know what it means. It means the best of the best. Yeah. So we are the best of our kind. Oh my God, look how we look pretty. Ain't we beautiful? Pretty gang, like 100%. Trans is beautiful. Trans is pretty.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, trans is beautiful. It's high time you guys speak of the friend because we are trans. We are born trans. Exactly. Yeah.
And then a quick rider to what you just say. You know what we are saying? This is stop the hate. I don't want to be threatened. I don't want my life to be threatened. I mean, we don't bite. We are so friendly. We are loving. So please, do not hate. It does not pay to hate.
That's all. I wonder how that keeps food on your table. Like, you're just hating. You're hating. You're a fan. Show some love. Like, come on.
Of course. Are you still transphobic and you are out there, you are still in Nigeria? You're on a long term, please. Start on learning and start loving. Because we're loving. I mean, we don't lie. Trans people are so lovely.
We love you all, and you guys us back is the best. So stop the harm, the discrimination, and stop stigmatizing us. We love you all.
A message from Creme de la Creme girls.
Come on, let's all make the world a better place.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.
Yeah, actually, it's amazing. Yeah, it's amazing. That is the press cookie. We have presentation of an Igbo dancescape to lighting and spice up this event. Okay, the next person is going to be Alexandra, a trans woman from Creme de la Creme. She will be giving us, she wants to spice up the event.
Talking drums and shakera combination. And if I don't live to see the day, you better believe it, I'll be there. This is my home, and I'm home to stay.
Yeah, there's actually a wonderful presentation from Alessandra, our key and support officer in Creme de la Creme, and we'll be presenting a collabo from Tintin and Ajibo, who are our councillor stars.
telu chim chim. Ewo pute kasharane ni. Makalonya ne kwero kekwe. Awe wasi kino neme. Mwani fene beka nebe. Ifu kona kuisi kete. Nagaba. You cannot stop the movie train. We got like you. Fine, Bena baby, see as you fresh, yo. Now only monkey go say you no fine, Bena. Fire baby, buru biale. Krikata, mama, dancing for mommy and dada, don't be shy to show brother, what in your waist, you can boss you. Oh, krikata, mama, if I put my on your second, no, I look away. Wakala bishi biale biale unu biale wanke kuomo wa shake mama oya rock mama oya walk mama wanke kuomo yale lelo yo lelo to bidi na kabando
Yeah, it's wonderful being part of this global summit. Thank you for the presentation.
Nancy Claverina, are you ready?
Yes.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Franklin. Are you ready, Nazina?
Yes, I'm ready now.
Okay, can you go ahead?
Okay. Just my story just is Nazi Flavina and my story, and my presentation is from fashion style and fashion style and the modeling and the women rights activists. And the second, I am volunteer in the ambassador from Trans Riga in Africa. I'm great up in Burundi in beautiful family where I am 5 children in the house. Everyone was okay. My daddy was my dad and my mom was lovely. Me, I was a children. When I was 4 years old, I asked to love, to wear my Muslim high. When I was 11 years old, I started to feel my feeling more strong, and the feeling that I was more female. In my country, people are not familiar with the LGBT community. My father was Muslim and my mother was a Christian. I was confused about where I should go to pray. When I was in 18, this coming to difficulty because because Muslims don't accept for you to be trans, a gay, or lesbian. So when they find out, sometimes your family can kick you out, and you don't have a home, food, education anymore. You feel like you are lonely in life. This makes so people stay in the closet. But for me, because I grew up with a family who understand who I am, I told them I'm feeling more a female. When I finished my high school, I founded the organization for LGBT people, and I started to working there as a volunteer activist. That was how I got a chance to come to South Africa. When I come he I decided not to go back because my country was not safe, and I was wanting to not to back. I was afraid to get killed and persecute. I decided to stay in South Africa, where I found life was actually so difficult for me, and I was struggling to survive. There was so much discrimination against me because of my gender, and there was a lot homophobia, and I was also struggling with the language as well until now. I started to volunteer with organization and to education and advocacy work as a trans woman. I decided to make the change to be full who I am, and I started to take on hormone, and from then my life became much better. I volunteer with the different organizations, PASOP, who work with the refugee LGBT community, trans projects, and other including Sweats, where is enjoy sisterhood and learn a lot from organization about the importance of telling your story. And I learned a lot from other trans women story about many of us who went up living in the streets and using drugs and all those kind of issue. I feel bad about what I was happening, and I feel it was the time to start up from who we are, to proud show myself and say we are female, we are women. I had the chance to be part of Miss Trans South Africa. I was exciting and proud. I am a makeup artist. I complete a course on design and how to use the African fabric to carve shoes and the handbag and the book. It was lovely, but I still have a stigma because when I am looking for work, they see I am a woman, but then my documents say something different. My my determination today is show the world that we are female and we are here to stay. We need to show the community that we are women. Begin so they stop discrimination us. We can running to do any professional. Many of us are doctor, nurse, lawyer, and in my case, I was hard as trans woman to support myself. What I want a spirit is happiness and love. Today I also had to help and I get my sister in my community to understand that as a trans woman we face the same discrimination, but it is very hard to have the xenophobia on top of the racists and the transphobia we all face. And thank you.
Thank you very much, Nazina, Nazif Lavarina. That's actually your, thank you for your courage and your strength to share your story and where you are. I'd now like to introduce Raymond to share with us. Raymond, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Yes, could you go ahead, Raymond? Raymond Sampson, I think it is. Sampson?
Okay, no, not me. I've done my presentation.
Yes, I'm here. Yeah.
Okay, do you wanna go ahead, Sampson?
Yeah, let's go. I had to, I was on transit, so I've been on transit since morning and it was a rainfall, so I just had to stay by in
Would you please go ahead? Because we're running out of time.
Okay. Yeah, good. I think I have 2 minutes, right?
I'm sorry?
2 minutes, right?
Yes, please go ahead.
Okay, good evening. Kachi Kopa, wow. Yeah, okay. Good evening to everyone, and good afternoon, good morning to others in the country that they're just starting their day. So my name is Prince Adebayo Samson, the HR and founder of PASS Consulting Firm in Lagos, Nigeria. So in my area, employed because I hate someone being an idle. That was the reason why I created the consulting firm, where I've been able to assist people, try to train them, especially the youth. So I've been able to meet with different people. I've been able to meet with different set of people who have shared their experience with me on how they've been treated just to get a job. So let me bring it to the LGBT world. A young guy came to me and he told me how someone promised to help him with a job. And at the long run, he said, okay, he has to be the bottom part of it, like the person he wants to become a PA, and he has to train him how to become a better person for the boss, like to be a good one to the boss. So after he shared the experience with me, after several sex rounds on the training section that lasted for almost like 2 months, he later said the man wasn't going to be around. So he's going to send someone down to check if he has been able to perform very well on being a bottom. But it's a sad story. After everything, after someone else had sex experience with him, they never gave him, the job wasn't anywhere. The job wasn't anywhere. There was no job, there was no opening for anything. So I was like, why did he do that? Why is he lying for a job that is not surfaced? So after then, that's when I start looking out for people I could be able to reach that are closer to me. Whenever I have a job opening that is directly for me to get someone for it, I definitely check through my cycle first before giving it out to the public, so anyone could apply. So at the long run, I also want us to note, like, this community, it is just about helping each other. We know it is not what people want. We are not legalized. We are not someone you could come out to say, I am this. But when we try to make people employable, it really helps our community. When you try to put them at first, it helps. So, okay, there are some things that really affect the LGBT that I think it is not really good. Number one, I would like us to take note on this key point. Be employable. Most of them are not employable. Even to the heterosexual, wherever it is, they are not employable. Because you have to always learn to be useful. If it's going to be a hand skill you want to go to, maybe you want to learn hairdressing, you want to learn barbing, you want to learn designing, just to make sure you're doing something, not just staying for someone to be somewhere to give you money. So secondly, for the better of it, aim for the best. Know what you want. Don't do everything he asks you to do. Aim for the best and make yourself the best. Then also volunteer and make trainings. I've volunteered a lot in so many places. I've attended so many trainings. I'm not a graduate in those periods. I have 3 years, close to 4 years experience as an HR and a recruiter, which I haven't been certified in it. If I'm like to go with certification, I'm not certified at all. But because of the trainings, the volunteers I've done to myself, it has given me the edge to work. Like, I'm also working for an Indian company as a remote recruiter. So it has given, when you volunteer, it gives you a chance to meet people and it explores you more. So I'll call this as an disadvantages. When you don't go to trainings, it makes you useless. So you don't want to give you money and you just don't waste your time. So I would love the community very well. When you're in a position where you notice like there's an opening in your firm and you really need some people and you think there are people that can do it, don't look down at them. Don't look down at them. Try to give them, at least in my office, I've tried to get almost like 15 people a job. In Lagos, Oyo, Ekiti, and Abuja, I've tried to get them a job. So I will employ every community member to always put us first in everything they do. There's no job I want, is either catering or anything, I make sure it is my community people first. It's when I can't get anybody in my community people, that's when I give it to outsiders. I always try to do that to help. And it's not going to be about either feminism or not. I just want you a better job. That's my concern. I care less about who you are. I care less about the way you work. I care less about what you dress. My main focus is deliver well on job. So I would just advise, let's build a connection among ourselves by giving ourselves hopes and help before looking out to other sexuality. To round it up, in conclusion, let's love ourselves. One love keeps on going. I remain the lawyer, Homoba Adebayo Sampson. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Samson. Thank you very much, Richard. And I think that that's a very important point you made. So I'll hand it back over to Bolu. Bolu, are you still there?
Yes, I am. Thank you guys so much for those presentations. That was a really, really educated segment from Richard Thompson. I think I also learned a lot from that. You spoke a lot of truth in what you said. So thank you so much. I think we can round up now with if I'm correct, there's no more presentations left for the West African segment. But before I close out, I just do want to say that, homophobia and anti-LGBT sentiments is something that, it really affects a lot of us. It affects a lot of us negatively. It's something that's really rife in our societies and in our cultures. People lose their lives, people lose their livelihoods, people get kicked out of their homes. That's why stuff like this that's happening today is very important, because I feel like the more of us lend our voices, speak up, educate people, day after day, one step at a time, things will get to a point where it does change for the better, and we can be our authentic selves and be free. So just want to say, like, a big shout out to you, Antoine, for putting this together. I think this was very, very well done. It was very, very educative. I think a lot of people, even myself who is even here participating, I've learned a lot. I'm sure a lot of people in the audience who are watching would have definitely learned a lot from all of us and everything that we've shared and spoken on today. And, it's great. So thank you very much, Antoine. I'm going to hand it back to you to close this segment.
Thank you very much again, Bolu. This, I think, is extraordinary. That despite the difficulties many of us were having with being able to get online, get access, have electricity to get online, some things that many of us take for granted. One of the things I found fascinating about our presentation this evening is that even despite the difficulties, we were so glad that many of you could come on and share your stories, share your experiences, talk about what life is like for you and your communities, and so that people can see that in your communities that you're managing to survive, you are keeping your head up, and so we are extremely grateful to all those who joined our, the planning team to plan this event, and we just want to now thank everyone for joining and participating, and looking towards next week, where on the 23rd, we will present a Southeast Asia program from Thailand, Cambodia, Laos, Indonesia, and the Philippines. And then on the 24th, beginning at 7 p.m. Indian Standard Time or 9 a.m. Eastern Time in New York, we will have a program presented by the Indian communities in India, Sri Lanka, and other parts of South Asia. Following that, the following week, from June 20th to the 30th, we will focus on Middle East and North Africa, where we will be showcasing countries in the North Africa and in the Middle East. So that is North Africa, going up towards Palestine and Libya and Lebanon, and going all the way around to Iran, Syria, Iran, and Iraq. And so they will be presenting and talking about visibility deconstructs myths, lies, and prejudices. And they will be focusing on several days on different types of visibility. So we'll be talking about artist visibility, writing for visibility. And then we close out this Global South Summit and start thinking about where are we going to do it next? When are we going to do it? And what would it look like? So with this in mind, we'd like to thank you all very much for joining us. And we hope that you join us again for the continuation of our, in my mind, our Global South Summit. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thanks so much.
Thank you, guys. Thanks to everybody.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Okay, bye, Antonio. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Nice
Bye.
meeting you
Bye,
guys. Thank you
everyone.
very much for your beautiful performances and representations.
Thank you, Antoine.
Thank you,
Yes.
everyone. Bye. Much love.
Thank you. Thank you, Nazina.
Thank you, Anton. Bye.
Okay,
See you in
bye.
October.
Bye.